Here we go, man. I love that intro, Andrew. I just last week we did a tax thing, and we had the Beatles "Taxman" song. I could listen to that the whole show if I wanted to. It was awesome. But Andrew, I'm going to introduce you here in a second. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping real quick, let people know what's coming up. I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We should have thousands upon thousands of people watching us tonight on LinkedIn and a bunch of places. I know Andrew invited a lot of friends and people that he knows. And of course, we've got our 7,400 group that we have that we train people and work with them with the Babe Ruth bucket system. So that's going to be going on. And we also we replay this a couple times too, Andrew, and get people a chance. So I don't know if they're going to do my ticker tonight, but if you're watching live, make sure you put hashtag live. And if you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay. And I'm hoping they put something on the ticker because I know some new people are watching on how they can join the group and be a part of what we are tonight. In a couple weeks, I think it's 2 weeks from today, we're going to be doing the Roth conversion. That's going to be for members only, and we're going to be having a special guest out of Colorado. We got two people that are working with us. One's an economist you will all know, but I'm going to keep that a secret, Andrew, until we get ready to roll that out. But that's going to be pretty cool, and we're going to be doing that for our memberships people only. So the other thing that we've got is we've got my seminar that I do for the whole group, and then we do it for members when we go to the sales side of it. And I'm going to be doing the turning a $200,000 401k into $1 million in 45 seconds. How about that, huh? So anyway, so we're going to be doing that, and so people are excited, and we keep doing that kind of stuff. Andrew, I'm so excited to have you. I want to show off your magazine before you get into it. This is me when I weighed 255 pounds. I'm now at 221 pounds. Me and Andrew are working to get the first one to get to 200, but Andrew made a stop in Italy, and that ruined everything. But me and Andrew have been friends. I'd say almost 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. And we met, and Andrew will tell you that I'm a persistent little booger. But I kept trying to get with him because Andrew knows a lot of people and he knows a lot of good things. And I'm going to shut up here in a second because he's got a lot to tell you tonight. Andrew's going to show you how to be a celebrity, and he's going to show you how to market some things and do some things with ReminderMedia. And Andrew, you're the vice president. You're a lot of things. I know you're a father, and you're a lot of other things as well. And hopefully share that with us too. But I'm gonna digress and let you take over, and we will go back and forth as much as we can. We're gonna open it up for questions. You can ask questions all you want while we're talking, and if we see some of those, we'll grab those. But when we're done with the talk, we usually go back and grab those and answer any questions that you might have. And so, without further ado, Mr. Andrew Saksa.
Liam, thank you so much. I really do appreciate this opportunity to share our little value prop and maybe learn a couple things together. But more importantly, I really do want to help your agents learn to live a life of freedom and take as much of the really stress, right, of trying to figure out, hey, what should I do to connect with my clients? What should I send them? When should I send it? How do I send it? How do I do all this stuff to make people a raving fan for their business? So ultimately, they're liked, known, and trusted. And of course, at the end of the day, they close more deals, retain more clients, right? The name of the game. So with all that being said, just give you guys a little background. ReminderMedia, our company's been around for 20 years. We've worked with over 100,000 business professionals just like yourself. And the key to our success as an $80 million company with 350 employees has nothing to do with the fact we do have a beautiful magazine like Liam showed his, but it really is just about our ability to help you guys connect with your clients at a relationship level to truly turn them into a raving fan for your business. So at the end of the day, you guys can live a life of freedom. So with that, if you don't mind, Liam, why don't we go ahead and share our little slideshow here? We'll get right into it. And before it's all said and done, I'm going to leave a special promotion for all your incredible members so that they are able to take advantage of something that nobody else gets the opportunity.
I hope you were going to bring that up because I promised him that last week. I said he's got a special promotion.
Well, good, Liam. Absolutely. I would never let you down, my friend. You know that.
There you go.
So as we talked about, right, how do you turn your clients into a raving fan for your business to help you close more deals, retain more clients? Well, we believe it starts with connecting at a relationship level. Most agents these days really look at folks at the transactional side. And I'll be honest with you, the second you can bring that relationship down a level at the relationship level to connect to both halves of that household, their friends, their colleagues, their business associates, in a way, again, I hate to throw it to Zig Ziglar, but we'll mention Zig, a way that helps you be liked, known, and trusted with all those friends, colleagues, and business associates of your client, the sooner you'll be able to close more deals, retain more clients, generate more referrals, and live that life of freedom. So, with that, let's go ahead, let's get right into this. And we're going to keep it short and sweet. Next slide here is going to talk about the fact that, of course, in order to drive more referrals and write more business, you got to stay connected with your client at a relationship level. And we'll go right into the next slide. We'll talk a little bit about the industry. So right now, almost everybody that's on this call, I hope, realizes that you have got to connect to both halves of that household. I don't care what line of insurance you write. If you're writing an annuity business, if you're doing life, if you're doing final expense, it really doesn't matter. You got to connect to both halves of that household, and you got to find a way to also connect to the next generation. Let's face it, if you're working with the male head of the household, I got great news. The spouse is 3 times more likely to give you a referral, and she's also much more likely to stay your client if anything were to happen to him. And with $70 trillion going from that baby boomer generation to me and Liam's generation, boy, I'll tell you what, the sooner you can connect with that adult child and get liked, known, and trusted, the better the odds are that you're going to retain those assets and make.
Well, and Andrew, in the old days, they used to call that a one-legger, didn't they?
They sure did.
You know, you got to have both legs in there, or it doesn't work out.
That's right. Or she's going to take one of those legs and run out the door.
There you go.
All right, my friend. Let's go to the next slide. So this is one of the most interesting stats, and maybe you should chime in on this one a little bit, Liam. But there was a recent study that came out about the insurance industry, and what they found out was 80% of clients that left their agent did it because they did not receive meaningful communication in their last 16 months. So, Liam, maybe you can talk a little bit about that
Well,
and how
you
you
know,
stay connected.
back, I go back 1991 when I started it, and we used to do things that it's amazing to me that the simplest things people don't do anymore, and a lot of times it's because it works, right? I mean, I used to talk to agents and I'd say, what are you doing that's going so well? And they tell me, and then I go back 2 months later and they're having a hard time, and I say, what are you not doing what was working? Oh no, I found something else. Well, why quit doing something if it's working? And
That's
so,
right.
so as for reaching out for people, I mean, I still do birthday cards. I still do anniversary dates. I still anything and at Christmas time, I do my best to physically and call as many people as I can so they can hear the voice on the other end, right? And if you've done your job the first time, it's an easy call to make, yes.
That's right.
So it makes that simple. But I think you're absolutely onto something where and I know you're going to get into this in a minute, but I was at my doctor's office just the other day, and I put this out in I think it was 4 months ago. It's still he's only got 2 or 3 left, but he still has them on his table out there, and I'm still getting people. He said a lot of people don't. I gave him enough so they could take them if they wanted to, and he said I like them to leave them there because it gives them something to read. You know what I mean? And that kind of stuff. But and tell me if I'm wrong, but that's part of the 81% of staying in front of your client that you gave these to so they can keep these out so more people reach you. Yes?
Yeah, 100%. Right. So we're really talking about the fact that a lot of agents view maybe a policy statement going out to their client as communication. That's not communication, guys. We're talking about meaningful communication, giving your client a gift, reaching out to somebody on the phone like Liam does, something that really connects at that relationship level. That's truly meaningful communication. And I promise if you do that on a consistent basis, that client will never leave you. But more importantly, they will become a raving fan for your business. All right, Liam, let's get into the next slide because I do want to keep this moving. So let's talk about this industry, right? You guys are one of the most incredible industries in the entire world. What other industry mandates people to have to use your product? By the government. Holy cow. I can't think of hardly anybody. Here's what's great. Right now, your fellow agents only get referrals 10% of the time, which is crazy. And we'll talk a little bit about that, but it is a huge reason why 92% of agents do not make it past the first 3 years in this industry. And of course, I know one thing about insurance, folks, and Liam is the perfect example of this. The second you get a prospect to sit down in front of you, you guys are assassins. You guys close north of 50%. You're the best in the world, in my opinion. And my goal as somebody here at Reminder Media and as a company, as an organization, is to make sure we get you like, known, and trusted before you even sit down with that client to make sure that those percentages increase. And I've got a little secret to help you increase on those referrals. So we're going to talk about that here at the end here as well. Liam, if you don't mind, let's keep going. What's our next slide?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I agree with you on the percentages. And the 92% of people, I always tell them, just get to that third year, do whatever it takes because it's well worth it, you know. And there's very few people that make it earlier than that. I mean, I was fortunate to be somebody that was able to come out, but that's just me, and it doesn't happen. I tell people it's not everybody, and you know, and I went. I mean, I went. I think it was 43 weeks without a paycheck, even after I'd started out real good. But my 44th paycheck was $78,000.
That's the key. That's what it's all about. And that statistic, by the way, comes from our good friend Cody Atkins. And I know Liam knows Cody here as well. And probably a lot of you know Cody. A really incredible conference called 8% Nation. And that whole 8% Nation is all about the fact that, hey, look, 92% of the time, you guys will not make it through that third year. How do we become part of that 8% Nation? So shout out to Cody Atkins. All right, so let's keep on going. So how do you connect to that entire household? Yeah, let's go back one. Perfect. You're there. How do you connect with that entire household? How do you generate more referrals? How do you increase those policies to write more lines of business? How do you retain more clients? Well, there's a few tried and true ways to do it. You can do a policy review. You can do a networking event. You can do a seminar or webinar like we're doing today. But I'll tell you, there's a better way. And we're going to show that to you here in just a second. Next slide. So look at that. What's going on in your industry? Right now, I would tell you is a great time to stand out from your competition because, folks, there are a lot of agents coming into your business. As you can see right there, your industry is on fire for all the reasons that we talked about. In my opinion, it's one of the best industries in the entire world. So with all this competition coming in the industry, how do you stand out from that competition?
Well,
And I'm going to show you how to do it.
let me help you out just real quick, Andrew. The other thing with that number that's a little bit deceiving is I would say the majority of those new people coming in are part timers.
Right.
And reason why I say that's important is because if this is your livelihood, you have an advantage, number one, of being full time at this thing, right? And nothing against people that are part time. I get it. I mean, it's wonderful, whatever. But I'm telling you, they don't have the time that you have to do a little bit extra marketing like we're talking about tonight. They just don't have the resources necessarily, and they're not all in, right? If you're all in, this is why I brought you here tonight. You know, help me stay all in, right?
Yeah, 100%. Love it. Great point. All right, let's go to the next slide. And obviously, we've touched on this a couple times, right? You got to strengthen the relationship in order to be able to generate that referral and, of course, close more deals, retain more clients. So we're going to slip to the next slide and talk about how we do it. So our unique value proposition is exactly what Liam showed you, his own beautiful magazine that he uses. We have 4 different magazines to be able to choose from to help you connect with your client at the relationship level with content that's going to interest them and more importantly, keep your brand top of mind and present on their coffee table. So, in your industry, you got a lot of different folks doing a lot of different things. Some of you out there are probably commercial agencies looking for more commercial business. I would tell you my Business in Action magazine is a great way to go. Again, the nice thing about it is it really is designed for the entrepreneur with thought leadership and tips and tricks to be able to help them grow their business. Our Start Healthy magazine tends to be my most popular magazine, whether you're a Medicare insurance agent, life agent, you name it. The nice thing about Start Healthy really touches on what Liam talked about because the articles are diet, fitness, exercise. And this being January, everybody trying to get in the gym, everybody trying to eat a little bit better, everybody trying to, obviously work out a little bit more. The nice thing about Start Healthy is it does all that. It's diet, fitness, exercise. It's a holistic approach for you as an agent, but also in addition to that, it's a great way to get in the doctor's offices, all those healthcare professionals. And we'll talk about the co-brand that you're able to do with that magazine. American Lifestyle, guess what, guys? That is our flagship. We will send out over 18 million magazines this year as a top 10 publisher, and American Lifestyle is a huge part of that. So, the nice thing about the American Lifestyle magazine is it's general interest, something for everybody. And our Good to Be Home magazine, which is one of my favorites. If you are an agent that is looking to saddle up and work with a real estate agent or maybe a mortgage lender or title company, landscaper, you name it, Good to Be Home is a great solution because once again, the articles are almost like in watching HGTV. My wife is a huge HGTV fan. I feel like we're either listing our house or going to do something new to it. But the exciting thing about that magazine is it really does help you connect with those areas of influence to help you increase your business. So with that, we'll go on to the next slide.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I now I did this, and I'm pretty sure everybody can do it. I did one for a certain amount of months, and then I switched to another one. You can switch it up, yes?
Absolutely. Best thing that you can do is you can not only switch it up, you can actually choose the clients that you want to get whatever magazine you want to. So we can have some magazines be the Good to Be Home, others be focused for the, like I say, Medicare business with the healthcare professional, all kinds of options and certainly ways to be
Now
able to use
that
the
would be a
magazine.
good one to do probably when it's Medicare season. Yes,
Yes,
maybe
sir.
plan ahead of that. And so
Yep,
you could like a lot of times I tell agents they always say, when do I do this? When do I do that? Well, I mean that would be a perfect time to have your order ready, right? And
that's
then
right.
hit that before, and then you're one step ahead of your competition because everybody does Medicare supplement, right? I mean everybody that I don't, but I'm retired. I play golf a lot.
I'm jealous. I'm only 6 lottery numbers behind you, Liam. All right, my friend. So, what's so special about this magazine? Why would a magazine be better than everything else that you do? Well, number one, it's the quality. Liam, you can certainly attest to the quality. It's 48 pages of really engaging content. And of course, obviously, the nice thing about it is it's all done for you. And next slide. But let's face it, guys, I want to make you a star. I want to make you a star of your own magazine for less than the cost of a Hallmark card. So, just like Liam, I want to put you right there on the cover of your own magazine with your photo, your logo, your brand information. It's compliments of you. And the nice thing about the magazine, next slide, is when your client opens up the magazine, now they're the star. It's literally customized down to your individual client level. So let's say, as an example, you just wrote a big annuity with somebody. Well, here's the nice thing about that person. I promise they know 3 or 5 people right now that you should be talking to. First and foremost, in their circle of 3 or 5 friends, I promise you, they value your client's opinion or they wouldn't hang out with them. Birds of a feather flock together. The only thing that's really missing for you to be able to turn them into your client is that old Zig Ziglar. You got to be liked, known, and trusted. And I promise we have the perfect system to be able to help you leverage this magazine to get in front of those 3 or 5 friends to get you liked, known, and trusted so that you can close more business. And we'll talk about that a little bit here in
Well,
a
and
second.
Andrew, what's the easiest way to get a referral?
Easiest way to get a referral, Liam? Let's let you go ahead and
Just have to ask.
there it is. And by the way, we got a trick to help folks ask that question. We'll close off on that
I
note.
was trying to roll you into that.
We're going to close off on that. I got a great story for you on that from another one of my friends, another great coach out there by the name of Frank Maselli. All right, let's keep on going. We'll go to the next slide because we are going long. I don't want to waste too much time here. So tarot cards, we have great recipe tarot cards. There's 2 recipe tarot cards. If you guys are doing an event, we could easily create a QR code, no cost, create a landing page, no cost, and help you to be able to, again, drive more referrals your direction from those doctor offices. Next slide. And of course, we're going to give you the back cover of the magazine inside and out as well. So again, if you had a great referral partner like Liam does there with that doctor's office, we could co-brand it. We could put them on the back cover. If you have a great relationship with a church or a charity or a foundation, we could feature that. All great reasons why people should be doing business with you. So it's a great way to co-brand with the center of influence. It's also an incredible way to showcase what you're doing in the community and let people know why they should be doing business with you. All right, Liam, let's go to the next slide.
I wanted to show this is my back page on the inside, and
Great.
I share about because you know me, I'm a huge fan of some of the products out there. Even though I know I retired back in 2009, and then I mean for writing business, and I started the consulting thing, and then in 16 I started doing the books and all that. But I tell people that I still help promote what you're doing out there, so it helps agents, and that's the inside thing was really good because you guys helped me, and we showed the nationwide product with the bonus and the 8%. So you can pick and choose as long as it's in compliant with what you're doing, right? Some of the things that you want to put in that back cover, and that we've gotten a whole lot of information on that. And if you notice, the QR whatever card was in there too, and that we've gotten people to do that. So you know, and you said earlier, you kind of went over it because I know we're trying to stay in our time zone. I get that. But tell them again, that's no charge. Those are things that you do for the client, for us.
Yeah. Thank you, Liam. Appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have probably one of the greatest graphic teams out there, and they will do 99% of that work for you at no cost just to be able to help you out. And by the way, too, if you have a good relationship with an IMO, an FMO, or a carrier, oftentimes they'll have this stuff already pre-approved. They already know us. And the nice thing about it is they can maybe chip in on some of the cost. So that was a great point. Thank you, Liam. Really appreciate you bringing that up. I'm going to wrap up here with just a couple things. Number one, we have a digital version of the magazine that's full motion video. We have over 3,500 branded posts that you guys can use, as well as we have a tool called Local Content that can professionally curate all the events going on local to you. And one of the promotions that we're going to be talking about at the end of this is I'm going to give everyone that is on this webinar the ability to have that digital magazine bundle at no cost as a trial. So whether you're in program with us or not, I'm going to make something special happen for you here by the end of the presentation. Liam, if you don't mind, let's go to the next slide. I really do want to try and stay on time for everybody.
Okay.
And of course, this is a unique time out there in the world where Facebook is really driving a lot of business to a lot of organizations, including ourselves. So if you want, we will do all of the work to be able to help you bring in more leads of exactly the type of client you're looking for. So we can do Facebook lead generation at a cost that's less than anybody else that's out there. And in my opinion, so far from what I've seen over the course of last year, we're about 3 times more effective than what everybody else is doing there as well. I'm not going to talk about that today because Liam, I really do want to make that its own thing.
Well,
but
we're bringing you back, so we got to have something to talk about when you come back. And
there you go.
I want you to bring pictures of Italy when you come back.
Oh, absolutely happy to. And me stuffing my face for sure.
There you go. There you go.
All right, next slide. And we're just going to keep on going through that. So we'll go one more here. And we'll do one more. Like I said, obviously the cost per lead is cheaper than anything you've seen
Well,
in
and
quite a
and and,
while.
and you're going to have something for the membership group. Probably in a week to 10 days, it'll be on the membership site. Yes.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
they get they're going to get a special discount every time because they're a paid member.
A
Correct.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we value our partnership, Liam, and we want to do something really special here for your members. And we're going to go to the next slide because, again, we're going to do our own special, separate presentation on
Let me
this.
ask you this question too. Can you and would you? I think you probably will. Can we do this in its entirety and put it on the membership page so people can maybe take their time and look at these slides and listen? Would you would that? I know we're recording this tonight, so you wouldn't have a problem if we put that on the page site as well. We're going to replay it as well, but
Yeah.
I would like to have this in its entirety, put it on the page site so people can take their time and look at it again.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%. All right. Let's go one more slide here. We're almost through all that Facebook stuff and social media stuff. Let's go one more. And we're going to go one more. So, what's the difference between us and all the other ways to be able to market? Let's face it, it's shelf life. Liam, you can attest to this again. When clients receive this magazine, they're going to see it for what it is. It's a gift, it's an item of value. It's not a postcard, newsletter, or flyer. It really will stay around in your clients and doctors' offices, like Liam talked about earlier, for 4 to 6 weeks on average. And the nice thing about it is less than the cost of a Hallmark card. So with that, I'm actually going to get right to the pricing and then we'll open it up for questions if that's okay. Yes, we have so many testimonials. It would drive you or take you days to be able to get through them all. We talked about the shelf life of the magazine. I know you guys are going to have questions. We'll get to them here at the end, I promise. But let's get to the exciting part for you guys, right? How do I get started? What's it going to cost me? And what is my Tony Robbins irresistible offer today? So let's hold it there for just a second. First and foremost, if anybody would like to scan this code to get started, please, we're going to leave this here for a minute. It's a great way to gather information. Even if you just want to get a sample of the magazine so you can see what it's like, hold it in your own hands, see how great the quality is. That promo code, that QR code right there will help you. Again, like Liam said, we're going to share this slide deck so you guys all have the opportunity to use it. It'll be right there on the platform. So again, you don't have to kill yourself with this. But I do want to make sure you guys had enough time to be able to scan it if you would like now. And with that being said, let's get to the last slide here, which is what does this cost? How much is this thing? So, first and foremost, if you are a member on this site, if you're attending this webinar right now, when you come on board with Reminder Media, we normally have a $299 sign up. But because you guys took the time out of your busy schedule, I'm going to reduce that for you to just $99. That's a one-time thing. It's literally the only thing you pay up front. Goes directly to the marketing coach. Liam already talked about how great those coaches are to work with. They're going to make sure your client list will remain exclusive to you. Nobody else is going to be able to send them a magazine. In addition to that, you'll have access to the social media library. And when I told you guys that this magazine was less than the cost of a Hallmark card, I'm not a liar. You can't go to Walmart today and go buy somebody a birthday card for less than what, 5, 6, 7 bucks, something like that. They're crazy expensive. This magazine is $4.49, which includes postage delivered to your client. Again, I don't think you're going to be able to find something this quality customized to your individual client for less money, and you're not breaking the bank here. I'm not telling you to order 100 or 1,000 magazines. Our minimum order is just 50 magazines. Grand total investment into your business to guarantee that you are in that top 8% of all agents in the country of $224.50. You do not pay for the magazines till they go to print. It will take 4 weeks from the time we have your list and your photo. And when you first come on board with us, just so you know, we do it as a trial. We have an 87% retention rate built over 20 years. I know this. If you try me one single time, you're going to get enough positive feedback from your clients to be able to want you to continue. So again, that's our offer. Anybody that wants to try this out today, I'm going to give you the option. If you would like an additional 15 free magazines, which is about 60 something dollars there, it's yours. So you could have 65 magazines for the cost of 50. Or if you would like to use our digital bundle, I will open that up for you for 2 months at no cost. Liam, I'm going to end off on this note. Why does this magazine work so well? Why is this such a great referral tool? I mentioned the fact that Frank Maselli says, hey, listen, what does the insurance industry tell their agents is the best time to ask for the referral? You and I both know that answer is when you first open up the account, right? When they first sign their name, press hard on that policy. That's when the industry tells you is the best time to go ahead and ask for the referral. Here's my thoughts on that, Liam. And again, I'm stealing it from Frank Maselli, so shout out to Big Frank. Frank says, imagine you just went on a date with somebody, you had a fantastic blind date, and you walked him to the door. When you got him to that door, Liam, you said to him, hey, we had a great time, didn't we? Liam, why don't you tell me who's 3 or 5 other great-looking gals who'd also like to date me? What an insane time to ask for a referral. So Frank's thought on the best time to send and ask for that referral is when you send your clients the magazine and you just ask them 3 questions. Hey, Liam, did you get my magazine? I'm trying something new. Oh, man, Andrew, I got that magazine. I love it. My wife, she's making the West Virginia blueberry toast right now. Well, fantastic. I know you're going to enjoy that. Hey, look, it sounds like you like the magazine. I'll continue to send it. Liam, let me ask you something. Who's a couple of your friends right now that I could send this magazine to? Not who's a couple of your friends right now that I can sell insurance to. Who's a couple of your friends right now that I could send the magazine to? I'm telling you right now, Liam, you back me up on this. I know for sure. People are decent. The rule of reciprocity is going to kick in. And I promise you this, you just gave them a gift. Of course, they're going to give you a couple of names. If you did that with just 10 of these folks, 10 of your best clients, that's 20 referrals that get a chance to like, know, and trust you for that very first impression. Do you think that's going to get you guys more appointments? Do you think you'll close more deals when you get to sit down with those folks? According to the industry, I think you would.
Well, and here's what I want to touch on. I write notes. My pastor always says, note takers are history makers, right? And so I've taken some notes over here, and I want to go back. And if you have to go, we're at our half-hour mark. You know, I do half hour, and you got to go. You got to go. If you want to stay, this is where we do the extra, and this is where you get a little bonus from us. We're going to answer a couple questions. I want to touch on Robert. I think it's Robert Flam Jr. And it ties into a question that I wanted to reiterate that you've already addressed. And he says that his problem is getting to be a standout. Now here's the thing that I want to go back to, and I'm going to give you an easy answer, Robert. It's consistency. You know, I don't come up with all this stuff that's just cookie cutter and everybody tells. Nobody would have thought of that, maybe, right? Consistency. And here's where you fit right in, Andrew, and you already hit on it, but we're going quickly, and so I want to go back and grab it. You guys will mail this with the postage included in the price to wherever they want it to go. Doctor's office, chiropractors, maybe they have a pet shop they want to send, whatever, you know. And so if that's not consistency, I don't know what is. And so if I have a mailing list that I give you, and you give me 2 options, if I'm not mistaken, I can do it myself, or I can have you do it for me, and you'll do it on a regular basis, correct?
Absolutely. So
if I did my math right, it's only $7.40 a day to do 50 magazines a month.
That's exactly right.
I feel
I
like
love that.
Siska, the dog thing. I'm going to give you a T-shirt.
I love it. For the cost of 1.5 Starbucks, you could be
There you-
staying connected with your top clients.
But,
All right, I'm going to piggy.
am I wrong? Consistency is the key. Yes.
Liam, you can't be more right. And I will tell you this, maybe the next webinar we'll talk about this. We love acronyms, right? This industry loves acronyms. So I'm going to give you guys an acronym here for the bonus folks who stayed on late. We talk about, is your marketing fit, right? William and I are both trying to get in this 200 club. How do you get your marketing fit? Well, for us, FIT stands for the acronym of frequency, impact, and trust. So when you talk about frequency, I want you to think like a radio dial, right? I don't know how often you should send, a magazine, a newsletter. I don't know how often you should post on social media, but I'll give you a little secret. If you lean in, I'll tell you what the real number is, because I do know it actually. The actual number of how many times you should connect with your client or your prospect is more. It's more than what you're doing. So when we talk about frequency, I'm going to say yes, a magazine is a great tool for a lot of folks. A digital version of the magazine is also a great tool to connect with a whole other set of folks. The social media that we provide, that we do all for you, where it's turnkey and we're actually posting it for you and you're not even thinking about what to post, when to post, that's going to connect with a whole bunch of other folks. And then that local content that we talked about, where you can say you're going to be at the event and they can actually meet you there, that's also going to connect with folks. So when I talk about frequency and we think about that radio dial, the exciting thing about that is no matter how your clients like to be communicated to, we're going to make sure you do that at the relationship level where it's got high impact. Because I'm telling you, Liam, to stand out from people, I have a guy by the name of Brian Harris. And anybody who wants to reach out to Brian Harris, he loves to tell the story. His name is Brion. He runs a $1.8 billion practice in Annapolis, Maryland. Brian fought me for 6 months about trying our magazine. He said, look, Andrew, my clients are all a bunch of really ultra high net worth people here in Annapolis. There's no way they're going to want this magazine. I said, Brian, you're not going to know till you try. So he tried it. He believed me because I'm like Liam. I'm a pretty persistent guy. If I believe that you've got value and I want to help you increase your business, I'm going to do everything I can to stay with it. So 6 months later, he gave me that shot. And when he sent the magazine out, his number one client, the guy with the biggest yacht in the Annapolis Yacht Club, had his magazine, just like Liam's, framed and delivered to his office because he thought that Brian was in the national magazine. So when we talk about how do you stand out from your competition, don't ask me, don't take my word for it. Take Brian Harris's word for it. Feel free to call him. He loves to talk about that
Well,
story.
and matter of fact, if you can put it together, I'll get him on the show. But here's the thing: persistency and consistency work hand in hand, right? But also, what you're saying there is what he's doing. You have to, and I tell people all the time, everything that I put on the show or everything we put on the vendor site for our members, I've tried it. I'm not going to tell anybody to do any of that. Like I'm doing this big coaching thing right now that's going gangbusters, and I've got a lot of guys on here that I think would be great coaches. But until I'm done with the program, and that's with Mike Drigger's group and those guys, until I'm done with that program, I'm not going to launch that until I believe in it, right? And I think that one of the things that we talked about before you come on here was that you was asking me like, you got 7,400 agents that you talk to, Bill. And, I use Liam and Bill, so I'm, you know how that works. But anyway, but one of the things you asked me was what is, and I think you agreed with me that one of the reasons I do this is because I think we would both agree that the training is lacking in this industry. The numbers are growing, and a lot of that's part-time people, and that's okay. But they're definitely, to me, here's my problem with some of the training that goes on out there, and the companies that do it. They'll take you riding their Lamborghini and drive you up to their 17,000 square foot house, and they do all that crap, and they make you think it happens overnight. It doesn't happen overnight, and you and me both know that, right? And so when I took over this group and started doing the things we're doing, and people say, "Oh, you push the paid membership. What do we get with the paid membership?" It's only $97 a month. Number one. Number two, you get me, and people say, "Well, that's kind of narcissistic." No, no, getting me is pretty powerful, and I can back it up. And I tell people, like, we used to do $10 million a year in production, and somebody was telling me the other day, he said, "Why don't you tell everybody all your?" I don't need to tell you. You can tell by the way we train and we talk. But if you want to see my plaques, you want to see my numbers, I'll get them for you, no problem. But I tell people all the time, and me and Andrew go back and forth. He said, "I've never heard you talk about all your successes." I said, "Andrew, most people can tell my successes by the things that I'm doing. Bringing Andrew Saska on, I've used your program. It's worked for my guys, right? I bring on other people, and so one of the things that I like about you is that you weren't going to come on here unless you did your homework. Yes,
Yeah, that's right.
and we took a little bit of time, but again, you can't just and the other thing I want back to that guy you were talking about, Brian. He learned, and even though, and I like this because he's a big hitter, you always have to be coachable. And what did he learn from you? It's about perception. Yes,
Yeah, 100%.
he already had everything else. He's making the millions of dollars a week.
You
How
bet.
about I do a magazine, Andrew? And then all of a sudden he realized it's the perception. So now I got perception, I got persistency, and I got consistency. And there's a difference in the two,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so I think that I can't. I could almost have you on once every month. I mean, I think we got so much more to talk about. I really want to get into, and maybe we'll do it more on the paid site. But I really think the Facebook thing, we kind of went over that quickly. I think that'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We get a lot of good comments. We got, "This is an awesome strategy." The one person here, Facebook just tells us that he loves the approach, and because you guys help make sure the brand is compliant. That's a huge thing with people, especially some of those security guys out there. And of course, everybody should be compliant. And I think that's one of the great things with what you do is that you guys help with that. And if they've got something coming in like we did with Nationwide, a lot of that's already through their compliance thing already. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. But nothing, no magazine will ever go out to anybody until you guys have all your disclosures and you have your compliance approval. That's when we'll actually send a magazine out. And by the way, that's also when you pay for it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not. And like you said, now if you start to scale, um, and let's say that I'm doing really well, can I do? Let's say I want to move it up to 100 or 150 max. Can I do 50 of one or mix and match, or has it got to? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, so you can absolutely mix and match. You can have different lists, right? Sometimes maybe if the client's more so valuable, you want to make sure that they get a magazine every 2 months. We'll do that. Maybe your clients, if you do client segmentation, maybe some of those clients that you know should have multiple lines with you, or they're going to inherit a bunch of wealth and you want to write that next annuity. Guess what? Maybe you put them, make sure they get a magazine every quarter. Maybe one of your clients gets every 6 months. Maybe even at the end of the year, you just want to connect, or ahead of AEP or ahead of OEP. You want to get something in the hands of all your top clients, all those practitioners around you, again, to once again make sure you capture all that
Now,
business.
do you help them with the list, or they give you a list?
Yeah, so it's both. You know, if you
Okay.
told us, hey, look, I want every person that's going to turn 65 for Medicare to receive my magazine within this zip code, I want to make sure that they have $200,000 in the bank. I want to make sure that they have a certain amount of income. I want to make sure maybe I just get along with women better than men. Maybe you want to just send it to the women. Whatever it
Now, is
is,
that an extra charge or no?
no, sir. No.
Wow. So that's all included. Now, so now again, if you're smart, you want to do that. At timing's everything. Yes. I
100%.
wouldn't send that at the end of the Medicare thing, would you?
No. But here's what I would do, right? Again, I'll hit you with one more acronym. I promise this will be the last acronym of the day. We talk a lot about Ford and the Ford method. If you knew your client's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, and you tap into that by hitting them with the right content, again, I promise This will make your client a raving fan for your business. So the next issue that we have going out is our pet edition. Liam, I saw Heather with her puppy dog. I would tell you this, there's a lot of clients out there right now that think their dogs are better than their kids. So,
I got 4 dogs I would put up against my 9.
or or their pets in general. So Liam, I would tell you, man, if you took those 4 dogs and put a picture of them with you and send it to your client, do you think your phone's going to ring off the hook with people telling you, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were a pet owner. I got this dog. I got a black lab also. I got this. I got that." I'm telling you,
And that's the key.
it's the
And I want to,
strength of the
I want
relationship.
to jump on that real quick, Andrew. People don't know how to start a conversation. That starts it for you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
It kills me. People say, "Well, how do I know what to say when I'm calling somebody?" What I said, seminar calls are easy. I say, "Andrew, are you coming out to my seminar? You have any dietary needs?"
Right.
I'm not talking about anything but what do you want to eat.
Yeah.
And then we start talking, and I might tease you a little bit. You say, "Well, I'm Catholic. I got to have fish. You're doing your seminar on Wednesday." I say, "Well, you're going to put one of those ashes on your head," and then we're talking, and you're laughing, and then I'm in, right? I'm in. Well,
That's right.
this is doing that for you. Yes.
That's right.
All you're saying is 3 things. Did you? That's 4. Maybe I don't know the number. Did you get my magazine? 5 things. 5 words.
Yep.
And they say, "Yes, I got it," and then they do what you just did, right?
Yep.
And the people say, "Well, that's not going to happen every time." Well, it is if you give them the right list.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, too, Liam. Almost, you would be amazed how many people, if you just call and ask those 3 questions, did you get it? Do you want me to continue to send it to you? Who's a couple friends I can send it to? I'm telling you, you will be shocked at how many referrals you'll get from just making. I never ever ask anybody to make 50 calls. I say this, man, send out this magazine, make 10 calls. When that magazine shows up at their doorstep, did you get? Do you like it? Who's a couple of your friends? Make 10 calls. That's it. Most of the time, my clients who use that strategy have north of 20 referrals of people to send the magazine to, and we'll continue to guess what? Make another 10 calls, make another 10 calls. And if you just did that with one time, try me that one single time, I promise, Liam and we're going to help you grow your business.
And I just can't get over the value. And I tell people, I get it all the time. I get always people. Like, I had this one girl last week. She was great. I did get a free coaching call with me, which is it. I charge. I mean, I don't, but the group I do, I think it's $3,000 they charge for me or whatever. But I give you 15 minutes, and you've seen some of the reviews. Some people say it's not 15. He'll go an hour with you. I like to talk, but you get 15 free when you join. And sometimes I give you a second call. It doesn't matter. Then I got one guy that's having trouble making ends meet. I've talked to him 3 or 4 times. He's finally starting to move. And I said, just don't be that guy in the Bible, the baker and whatever that forgot about Joseph and he saved his life and they forgot about him for 20 years. You got to remember the people that help you get where you want to go. And I think that one of the things that with the group that we're trying to get people to understand is that we are trying to bring so many top-notch opportunities, not only when we do the shows, but on the paid site that people can go and they can see your group. They can see, what Heather and them do about building groups, and they can go and see what Andrew does, and they can see what, I'm trying to work something out with Dave Henna, and we've got Steve DeBoer and his groups, we're doing some stuff with them. And so then people start saying $97, that you're not charging enough. I know groups that charge $297, the Wealth Factory, they charge, and all they do is push the Rockefeller book, right? That's all they do. We do 100 million things, and it's amazing to me that people still have the audacity to say, what exactly do I get? You know what? They get me, they get you, they get Andrew, they get Heather. I can go on down the list, and I appreciate you coming tonight. I know you got some things to do, and I know we got to get off of here. I want to bring you back. I hope you'll come back. I know we recorded this. You're going to put this out. You've got so many connections. I know you're going to put that. It's on LinkedIn tonight. I think we also have this on, Facebook and some other groups. And I think Heather's got all that going on. So if you want to be a member tonight, I think they put that down. You go to lciagencytraining.com and we get that started for you. But Andrew, we should have your stuff, hopefully within 10 days on the site. Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know this is going to keep replaying. So even if it's not on there, can they just go to that little square and keep hitting that, or what is that
Yep.
just for
Yeah,
tonight?
absolutely. They can hit the QR code that we featured. You can call me right here on this direct line that's showing up. That's
And make sure they
484
tell you that they're
804
with the Baby Bucket
2963.
system so they get the discount. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Because I'm not going to offer either the reduced sign up fee, the special digital bundle that we offered, or the 15 free unless I know that it's coming directly from you, Liam.
Well, we got a ton of wows. We got a great show tonight. A lot of people enjoyed this. A lot of people saying this is great. All about relationships. Drew said that to us, and we got a bunch of people just seem really excited about what we're doing. So that's good feedback. You'll get to see that too when we send this out to you. Andrew, I'm gonna let you close this out. I appreciate you coming. We're gonna put on our little end of the show thing. And I will talk to you probably sometime tomorrow or the next couple of days so we can get moving on putting all this on the site. So I'm gonna let you say goodbye to everybody. Any last words, Andrew?
Liam, I just want to thank you first and foremost for being the most passionate coach that's out there. Like I said, there's a few folks that I know that I really endorse. I've mentioned a couple today, right? Cody Askins, I'm a big fan of what he's doing out there. I'm a huge fan of Frank Maselli. But Liam, I'll tell you, I've been at this for a long time. I was $1 million producer for Hartford myself. I was a financial advisor for over 15 years. And when you find people like you, Liam, that are truly passionate about helping others and you put their needs ahead of your own, man, the things that open up for you, the incredible gifts that you receive, and that's what we've made a 20 years so far company out of. And I'm just grateful to you and all the members who took their time today to really grow their practice. Follow Liam. The man knows what he's talking about.
I appreciate you. We'll talk tomorrow for sure. 200, we got to get there, my friend.
I'm going to the gym right after this, man. You'll see me on Facebook.
I'll see it on Facebook. Zach, go ahead and close us out. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.